Hi, I'm Warrick from Steenbeck, and the video that we're putting in front of you today is to talk about the new heads that have come out with our 2024 range of airbrushes. Now, some of you have noticed that we've changed the sizes up a little bit. So where we used to have a 0.2, we've gone up to a 0.28. Where we used to have a 0.4, we've gone up to a 0.45. Now, these parts are now available as spare parts. They are absolutely compatible with all the old airbrushes. It's kind of a rule here at Steenbeck that whenever we develop a new head, we always want our customers who've bought airbrushes in the past to be able to access the spraying performance of whatever new heads we create. So even with the Infinity head, which has not yet been released for 2024, but it's coming soon, that will be compatible backwards even to our old Evolutions, old Infinities, old Ultras, even all the way back to our old Focus airbrush. So all of this can be used on the old products. If you're looking for a hop-up for your airbrush and you want to get a bit more performance, but you're not in a position where you can invest in a complete new airbrush, a great way to do that is to consider buying one of our complete nozzle sets, which gives you the air cap, the nozzle, and the needle as a matched set, and putting it on your older airbrush, because these 2024 setups are absolutely fantastic and they represent the best of what we can do now today with all the new technology that we brought into the company and all the new design that we've been doing over the last couple of years. Now let's dive into a little bit more detail, because I've seen lots and lots of questions in the comments on other videos about what's compatible with what, how you can use this nozzle with that airbrush, and if there's any issues with mixing and matching things. So the first thing is down in the description of this video, there's a reference to a bunch of other videos which will tell you a lot about optimal setups with some of the older airbrushes, which upgrade parts we recommend and which ones we don't. So do take a look at those as well. But very briefly, let's just look at the specific things to do with the heads. What we've done is we've really focused on understanding that the head system in an airbrush is really not about the size of the nozzle. This is a really common misconception. It's much more of an aerodynamic question. And so we focused in on the aerodynamics of our nozzle sizes, and in doing so, we've been able to surpass the performance, for example, of our old 0.2 with a nozzle size of 0.28, because we've refined the aerodynamic design inside that head to such a degree that it's now performing with a detail capability that's really about the same as our old 0.15. Why do you want a bigger nozzle size? Simple. They're always more robust, they're more user-friendly, they can handle a greater variety of paints, like all the metallics and pearls and things that you might want to throw down those head sizes, but you're doing it without sacrificing any of the detail capability because of this new improved internal aerodynamic design. When we look at the 0.45, that's a replacement for our old 0.4. Again, don't think that the 0.45 means it can't do the same detail level as the old 0.4. Actually, the detail capability of the 0.45 is way better than the old 0.4, and it's actually approaching the old 0.2. But you get the user-friendliness, the wide-open cleaning speed of a 0.45, and the ability to handle a much bigger variety of heavier paints because of that larger nozzle size. But the detail capability, this is what Harder and Steenbeck has always been all about. Beautiful soft atomization, incredible detail performance. There's nothing we're ever going to do that's going to sacrifice that or take a backward step. So the 0.45 will absolutely outperform the old 0.4. The 0.28 will absolutely outperform the old 0.2, and it will get to the same level as the old 0.15. So the old 1.5, the old 0.2, the old 0.4, we're dropping all of those because these two sizes comprehensively supersede them. So what we're launching today with this video is the ability to buy these exciting new parts if you want to hop up your older airbrush. Now, of course, the best way to access the full performance of our 2024 developments is to buy the new 2024 airbrushes, but we totally understand that that's not an option for all of you, and some of you might be happy with every aspect of your older airbrush, and you're just interested in what these new heads can bring. Or maybe you've just damaged a nozzle and you just want to replace that and you're wondering what's the compatibility. So I'm going to try to lay this out for you in a really concise and ordered manner. For those of you who are familiar with our YouTube channel, you'll probably know that being concise is something that I normally struggle with, so I'm going to do my best for you. So the first thing I just want to go over is how we at Harder & Steenbeck identify our parts. It's by a system of lines and bands. So on the back of the needle, for example, to show you that it's a 0.4 needle, you'll see 4 little bumps on the back of the needle. If we look at the nozzles, you'll see that there's 4 lines scribed on the barrel of the nozzle. If we look at an air cap, then you'll see on that, again, that there's 4 lines inscribed on the barrel of the air cap. When you remove the needle cap, you'll be able to see them. Now, because of the fact that we're superseding the 0.2s and the 0.4s with 0.28s and 0.45 respectively, we haven't changed that banding system. You will, however, see it on the packaging. So if you buy one of our new 0.45 nozzles, it will say on the packaging 0.45 nozzle and then in brackets 0.4. So you know it's compatible with the 0.4s. And you'll see those 4 bands on there. If, for example, you're buying a 0.45 nozzle to replace a 0.4 that you've damaged, don't worry, that is fully backwards compatible with all of the old 0.4 headsets. So if you just need a new 0.4 nozzle, buy the 0.45, it'll work with all of your old 0.4 stuff. So hopefully that clears up the most common mix and match, which I think people will want to do, which is replacing a nozzle. If you need to replace an air cap, but not a nozzle, that's really uncommon that you damage an air cap and you don't damage a nozzle, but let's just deal with it anyway. Go ahead and buy the new parts because you will be able to fit your 0.2 nozzle into your new 0.28 air cap. Don't expect to see a performance increase there. It'll pretty much perform the same as the old one. If you want to see the performance increase, you really want to buy them as a set. So this is what we call a nozzle set, where you get the air cap, the nozzle, and the needle. Coming back to the needles, how do you identify what's what on the needles? Again, same thing. You'll see on the packaging, it'll now say 0.45 needle, and there'll be a bracket that says 0.4, which tells you it's compatible with the old 0.4 heads, but it is the new 0.45 needle. Similarly with the 0.28, you'll see on the packaging, it'll say 0.28. You'll see 2 bands on the back of it. It's compatible with everything that starts with 0.2, but it is the new 0.28. I just want to deal a little bit with the Infinity, which isn't out yet. The Infinity is a new head architecture. So whilst you can fit the 2024 Infinity head to any Harder and Steenbeck airbrush, what you won't be able to do is to use an Infinity nozzle with an Evolution air cap, okay? Everything from the Infinity has got to stay together. So Infinity nozzle, you must use it with an Infinity air cap. So we'll make that very clear when we launch that and on the packaging and so on and so forth. And the reason why we've done that is because we've really tried to push the boundaries on just how extreme of a detail tool the Infinity is capable of being. And to do that, we've needed to create a head system which matches the air cap design with the nozzle design. And we've really pushed the boundaries on both of those in ways that we're really excited to share with you soon. And so just in closing, guys, I just want to reiterate why we've made this change in sizes. It's really all about using our understanding and the manufacturing technology that we've now got at our disposal to make head systems which are aerodynamically superior. Aerodynamics is the process by which paint gets blown off the needle tip and focused to a fine point outside of the airbrush, and that's what gives you your detail spray. It's really not tied as much as you might think to the actual size of the nozzle. What is very intimately tied to the size of the nozzle is robustness, user-friendliness, and how easily and quickly it will clean. And that's why we've gone up a little bit in nozzle size, but at the same time, optimize the aerodynamics of that so that you get these big increases in performance allied with these big increases in user-friendliness. So hopefully that's been really clear for you as to how you can use these new heads with your older airbrushes. Absolutely no issues with compatibility. Any more questions, guys, please do ask them in the comments below. There's probably something that I didn't cover clearly. If you've got a question about it, please ask. I will always answer every question that you've got on this topic, and I look forward to interacting with you in the comments. And remember, it's always great to find a person who could do with some knowledge that you have and they don't, to help them move forward on their creative journey. So always look for that opportunity, because when you do it, the rewards will be all yours. Thanks so much. See you on the next one.